This is the Fluency and Skills Practice for Lesson 4. So we're going to start looking at writing and interpreting the algebraic expressions before we solve any of them. So with this, we have to know words like more than, times, quotient, less than, sum, all these words that you know in word problems that tell you what to do or what you're trying to find. So those are the words that you really need to know for these. So for the first one, I would go through and probably underline the words that I need to know so that would show me like my operations to do. So we know times means we're going to multiply, and more than we know means to add. Okay? So, and also you can look at that page, that last video that I shared that has this good page on it. Maybe screenshot it so you can see that. You can see where it says more than is under plus, and then times is under multiplication. Okay? All right, so 12 more than 8.2 times a number n. So we're going to do, since it's 12 more than, you can put, you could put 12 on this side or this side, but because it says 12 more than this, I would put it on the right side. So plus 12. Okay? 8.2 times a number n. So this is our variable. So it's times n. So we could do 8.2 times n. Okay, so this says 12 more than 8.2 times n. Okay? We'll do, I want to do this one for sure because less than looks different than what you would think. So 3 less than and the quotient. So we have 3 less than, and we know that we're dividing because this is the quotient. So we know we have a subtraction and a division symbol somewhere in here. So we're looking at 18 and a number m, and that's the quotient of those two, so it's going to be dividing. So 18 and m, and then 3 less than that is going to be to the right, okay? Because you got to think it's 3 less than what this is going to be. Not 3 minus that, but 3 less than. And I'll show you in the book, it says it right here. It's 12 less than 9, not 90. It's 90 minus 12, which is 12 less than 90, not 12 minus 90. It's 12 less than, so make sure you understand that. Okay? I want you to try 3 and 4 on your own. Make sure you realize, you were looking at times, the sum, quotient, and times. Okay, so make sure you understand that. Okay, so let's look at number 5. This is a little bit of a word problem. It's not any harder. It's just you got to think about it a little bit more. So we have 5 friends, and they are splitting the cost of parking at an amusement park. Each of them also buys a $30 ticket. So each of them buys this $30 ticket. So we want to write an algebraic expression that represents the amount of money each friend spends, and we want to identify any variables. Okay? So let's put the cost of parking, because we're going to split that. I don't know how much it costs. That's my unknown. So this is going to be my variable. Okay, so this is my variable. And I know that because we're splitting the cost of parking, and we don't, nowhere does it tell us how much the cost of parking is. So I'm going to put C is my cost to park. And I'm writing this down because it says that. Identify any variables. I'm going to use C, so I have to know what C equals. So C is going to be split between 5 friends. So splitting something means that you're going to be dividing. Split into parts, split into groups. You're splitting it, you're dividing it. So the cost is going to be divided by 5 friends. And each of them also has to buy a ticket. So because each is going to buy a ticket, I have to add that cost to the split cost. Okay, and then that would equal how much each one spends. So let's keep it easy. Let's say the cost of parking was $45. Okay, so to see if it makes sense. So let's say the cost of parking costs $45, and they're going to split that money. So that'd be 45 divided by 5, which would be your 9. And then I have to add 30 because each one had to buy a ticket. So it'd be 9 plus 30. So they spent $39 each. Okay, so if you didn't understand that fully, go back and look at it again. Listen to it again, okay? Just because you've watched it doesn't mean you can't watch it one more time. All right? Here, number 7 and 8 is the same type question. So number 7 says that he's writing an algebraic expression, and this is it, and it's the cost of his lunch. He buys 2 sandwiches and a large drink. So we need to identify any variables, coefficients, and terms in the expression. So if he's buying 2 sandwiches 2 times S, what do you think that S stands for? Well, the S probably stands for the sandwich. Okay? So he bought that and a large drink. Well, this over here is by itself, and I only have 1 drink, so it probably is the cost of the drink. Okay? So make sure you're understanding what that is. So the variable is a sandwich. Coefficient is going to be the number multiplied to the variable. And your terms are this one and this one. So there's 2 different terms. And you could even say the constant here, it doesn't ask you about that, but the constant is the cost of the drink. So that's how you work that one. 8's done the same exact way. 9 is wanting you to write your own expression. Do the best that you can on this one. If it ends up not being very accurate, that's fine. You can also go back to number 7 and use what they did. Okay, this is saying 3S plus $2.15. Well, maybe he bought 3 sandwiches and 1 drink, and the drink was $2.15. So just think about that the best that you can. I know it's weird having to do it yourself, but you should be able to do that with what they give you.